What up, YouTube? Wally here. I'm going to do the 15 questions from See and Save. We're just coming back from a little spot called Canton, South Dakota. We were out looking for an acreage today, which sucked ass. It was the best deal ever. Total dream house built on this hill. And we were joking because the price was so good that, I mean, this thing, it built right on a hill. So we're joking that the price was so good that it must be like sliding up the hill. So we get there, get out, and it is sliding up the hill. There's like massive cracks in the foundation, and we could see, we didn't go into the house, but you could see into the house, and there's like huge cracks all over inside. Anyway, enough about that. We're not getting that place. So I'm going to go through 15 questions from See and Save. Question number 1, what is your name and in what state do you live? I printed this really small so I can't read it. My name is Wally, and I live in a state of disarray and malcontent, in case you didn't know that. That is located right between Nebraska and North Dakota, otherwise known as South Dakota. If you hear any giggling at all, it's my wife behind the camera there. She's trying to film for me, because she's afraid I'm going to get in an accident if I'm holding it out here. So if I start to get naked, it's just I'm used to her, filming me in another lake. Anyway, question number 2, how long have you been a picker? I don't call myself a picker, so I have been buying, selling, finding things since I was 6-7 years old, but I really didn't start selling until I was probably 13. I think I did my first card show down at our local flea market in 1985 or 6, somewhere around there. And let's see, number 3 is, do you like the term picker, or do you prefer to be called something else? No, I do not like the term picker. Pickers around here, one of these days I'm going to make a video and show you guys what we call a picker. Picker is a 4-letter word around here. It's these guys that, you'll be at, you'll pay good money to set up at a place, and this guy shows up and he's luring people away from your booth to try to take them out to his car, his truck, to sell them whatever he thinks, they're trying to buy from you and trying to undercut you, and they're just these little schmarmy little dirt balls that, what?
It's a shysters.
Oh, shysters. So, no, I don't like the term picker. Anyway, number 4, where do you sell your items? eBay, Amazon, flea market, antique mall booth, Craigslist, etc. I sell on eBay. I bet it's just 6 months since I've had anything on there, but I'm in the process of doing an eBay store. Amazon, I think I have 21 items at last count. I just started that maybe a week or 2 ago. Flea market, I haven't set up at a flea market for about a year, I think, but yeah, we do those from time to time. I have 5 booths in the antique malls, 2 different malls, 4 in one in the other. Where else? Let's see, I try to sell on Craigslist, but I have no luck selling on Craigslist. I have pretty good luck buying on Craigslist. I just haven't had good luck selling, because the people are, they back out. I run into the weirdos. People even more weird than myself. Other than that, I sell most of you guys probably know I sell a lot of sports stuff. I sell on sportsbuy.com, sportlots.com. I do some in message boards with some of the guys that I talk to on there. Then I do a little bit on a site called webstore.com. I don't have very many items on there. It's kind of slow, but it's like an eBay alternative site. I think that's probably about it that I can think of off the top of my head. Let's see, question number 5. Do you have a business name, and if so, how did you choose it? No, I'm not registered as a business name. I'm just registered as Walter Anderson, so legally. But, online, I have the Dakota Treasure Hunter name. I have Wally's Cards, Wally's Treasures, so... and it's pretty obvious how I chose those. The Dakota Treasure Hunter, I took that name. I used the Vintage Ventures formula for creating a YouTube name where you take a noun and a describer word, which I'm going to make a video on that pretty soon too, to explain that formula to those of you who are familiar with that. Let's see. Number 6. Where do you go picking at? I buy at auctions mostly, online and off. I do flea markets, garage sales, antique malls. Oh, let's see, what else? Church sales, those are really good around here. Craigslist, I do somewhat decent on there. Pretty much anywhere that people buy and sell. Some thrift stores, but our thrift stores here aren't very good at all. So pretty much anywhere that I can find things. Let's see. Where was I at? 6? Yeah, now I'm at number 7. What items do you like to pick and sell best? I don't know if there's something I like better than, well, there is, but as far as selling them, I don't know what really sells best, but what I like best, obviously, is the sports stuff, historical items like old, postcards, photos, the postal history things where you have the towns that don't exist anymore, autographs. I like the razors, pens. I mean, just about. There's a ton of stuff I could rattle off. But what I know the best is I'm probably going to say it's going to be between the historical items, sports, autographs, and coins, I would say. Let's see. What has been your biggest score? Money-wise, I'd have to say probably either the trailer that I bought last year, possibly. Once I go through all of it, we'll figure out and we'll see. That's possibly the biggest. As far as amount of product, it's definitely the largest, because I had to go rent a storage unit to put it all in there. But as far as like a dollar value, I'm thinking that it's possibly several years ago there was an online auction on eBay where some guy had a ton of cards on there. Excuse me. And I think it was like 12 to 15,000 cards, something like that. And I think it was probably worth maybe $50,000, $60,000, something like that. And so I think I had around $2,500 to $3,000 to spend on it. And so back then, we didn't have the internet on phones and all that kind of stuff. So I had my wife at home. I had the auction up on eBay, and I had her like click this, within like 10 seconds of when it, they didn't have sniping and all that stuff either. So I was at work. I couldn't be there for the auction. Well, the auction ends, and I end up getting a lot for $175 with shipping. And today I think it probably cost me a few hundred just to ship it. But back then, back in like what was it, 98, 9, somewhere around there when I first got on eBay. Well, it turns out when I get the lot of stuff, it gets even better because there's these boxes. It's called a vending box. Anybody familiar with cards will know what a vending box is. And it's excuse me. It holds about 500 cards, and that's what all the cards were in. But then there were some that were better than others. There was probably 2 or 3 of the boxes that were filled with nothing but 1972 Topps high number football cards. Excuse me. The high numbers were a real short print. They're pretty tough to find. So there's probably 1,500 of just the 72 Topps high numbers, and I think those are probably the fastest selling thing I've ever bought and sold. I mean, I sold them all within probably just a few weeks. I mean, they went, and I got what I wanted for them. I mean, I would list them and they would sell right away. And then on top of that, there was like 3 boxes or so of nothing but Michael Jordan cards that were probably worth maybe $30 to $50 for each Jordan card. And I haven't sold all those yet. I've sold a few of those, but I've sold a few here and there. And then there was a ton of like misprints and errors and things like that I've sold over the years. Some anywhere from $3 to a couple $100 a card. And I still have probably, like I said before, there was 12 to 15,000 of those cards. I probably still have maybe 7,000 to 8,000 cards left, and there was just so much. other than the high numbers that I sold right away. Okay, enough about that. That was probably my biggest score. Let's see. Biggest picking sales nightmare. I don't know if I really have a nightmare that I could think off of the top of my head. Probably just losing out, I guess, would be the nightmare. I have this thing where I get really anxious, say for example, the night before an auction, and I'll be just having some crazy-ass dreams about auctions, you know, like, I don't know, say for example, I'm at an auction and you know, there's something up there worth like a ton of money, and I'm the only one that knows what it's worth, and nobody's bidding on it, but yet I can't raise my hand. I'm like paralyzed, or, you know, whatever. Weird things like that, you know. So on the night of a really big auction, or the night before a really big auction, I don't sleep. So that's probably what I would say as far as my picking nightmare. Number 10. Is picking your only income, or do you have another job? Yes, I have another job. I've never done it full time, other than when I think I did it full time from when I was probably 13, when I had no other income. Oh, I guess I did. I had a paper route then. So I guess I still only did it full time, or part time. But yeah, I have a full time job, Monday through Friday, 40-hour week. Rest of the week is pretty much when I'm not at work, we're out doing something, either at home, getting stuff ready, or out at a flea market, out at the antique malls, at auctions, something like that. But no, I'm part-time right now. And let's see, number 11. Does anyone help you with your picking business? Yes, my wife Nikki does. At first, I think she thought I was a nut because when we first started dating, I told her I had to stop somewhere to pick something up, and what I was doing was I was stopping out at the mall because I knew they'd gotten some new coins in there I wanted to look through, and so I go to pick her up, and she's like, "Where did you have to stop?" And I said, "Oh, I stopped out at the coin shop." She's like, "A coin shop? You mean like the bank or something?" I'm like, "No, the coins, you know, people buy coins." And then she, what did you buy? So I show her, and I bought this 1939 uncirculated roll of Lincoln cents for, I think it was like $40 back then. Now it's probably, you know, $200 or something. But she thought I was fucking crazy because I paid $40 for 50 cents. And she's questioning me like, why would you pay $40 for 50 cents? It's 50 cents! So I'm trying to explain to her how, you know, the collectible market works. And then another time, I went to go pick her up at her work, and I had to leave her there because I was in the middle of a big buy of some guy's sports collection. And so I go to pick her up, and she's waiting outside, and I had to leave her there because there was no room in my car. I had my car completely filled, top to bottom, trunk, the back seat, the back windshield, the passenger seat. I mean, almost. I could barely even fit in the car. I had it so packed full of stuff. And so I had to go unload that. So then, again, she thought I was nuts. But over the years, she's come around. I used to go, and she would just sit out in the car and read a book while I was in, you know, the flea market or the antique mall or whatever. But little by little, she's come inside, and she's, you know, learned and helped me out. And, you know, she's really good with the children's books, records, costume jewelry, crafty stuff. Good helping me frame things. And let's see, number 12. What do you use your picking money for? Bills or fun? I reinvest every single penny. I have forever. I've never paid myself a salary as of yet. Everything I've ever done, ever bought, ever sold has always pretty much gone back into buying more stuff and growing it. If she wouldn't be so embarrassed, I probably would do a video showing you how much stuff I really do have. You know, she like laughs at me because she's saying she's going to call hoarders, you know. Because when we moved into our place, it's a 3-bedroom place, and she had her little room, and then I had my room. Well, I've overtaken her room over the years, and the hall closet, and the other closet, and I mean, I got a lot of stuff. So. And
the dining room.
Shut up. No. Anyway, let's see, 13. Who's your favorite YouTube picker? This is my answer's probably going to be a lot different than most people's. A lot of people probably don't know or may know that I really don't watch a lot of videos on YouTube. I pretty much stumbled onto all the YouTube videos by accident, where what I was doing was I was trying to plan out a little buying trip, because we'll take these little buying trips throughout our area. So I'm always looking to see if there's new places, like new, antique malls or new flea markets or auctions or whatever. So we try to plan all this out when we do these trips. And so somehow I came across somebody that was doing like an antique video, and it was like a walkthrough of the mall that they had, just showing all the different dealers and that kind of thing. And then I just stumbled on other people's videos, and I'd been in the like antique and collectible message boards for years, talking to people, on the card ones, the autograph ones, and all kinds of different message boards. Well, then when I saw all the people on YouTube doing all the videos, I had messaged a couple different people, because I had started a Facebook group that was for people that were into that, but there was maybe 6 people in there or whatever. So I invited a few YouTube people over there, and then eventually, it's kind of, one group is opened up, and other one's closed down, and other one's opened up, and another one's closed down. So they've kind of gone through a series of different groups over the last couple of years. But there's a few people that I just messaged saying, hey, I saw a couple of your videos. I wonder if you're interested in joining this group so we can bullshit about, we have the same interests. We do the same thing, buying and selling. So I can't really say that I have a favorite, because I've watched very little videos. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll download a few on I have a little PlayStation PSP thing, and I'll take that with me to work or whatever, and on my lunch break or whatever, I'll sit there and watch a few videos. But usually, having a full-time job, I really don't have a lot of time to just sit and watch a bunch of YouTube videos all day long. So that's kind of tough. I don't really have a favorite. So on to the next question. Let's see, number 14. What type of YouTube picking videos do you like best? Haul, sales, or educational? I would have to say educational, because that's what I'm always looking for. I'm always looking to learn more. That's what I've always done. When I was a kid, like I've said a million times before, I started out with, for the most part, the sports stuff. That was really big for me back, when it hit big in the 80s. But I used to live maybe, less than a mile or two from our public library, and I would go down there all the time, and I would try to find their books on cards and stuff. And then they had it in the same section, they had books on political buttons and marbles and all kinds of antique collectibles and fountain pens and you name it, stamps. So I would go down there and I would check out like several books on all kinds of different collectible subjects, and just learn more and more as much as I could, and just went out to the antique malls even back then finding things, but mainly sports things and a few other little fountain pens and that type of thing. So I'd have to say my favorite videos have to be educational, just because I'm constantly looking to learn more about things. That's why I spend more time in the message boards on different websites talking to people about a certain area or whatever of antiques or collectibles, and not so much time on YouTube. Let's see here. And then, what are my future reselling goals? My goal is to be doing it full time, and have that, just nothing else, no part-time job, no nothing, just reselling full time. In the near future here, I'm planning on adding more to the Amazon account that I opened. We're in the process of opening an eBay store pretty soon, which I should have done a long time ago. I just got into other things at the time. 'Cause like I said, I got the booths that I do, and I'm always expanding into more antique booths, and just keeping those stacked and pricing everything and doing all that takes a lot of time. So I would say that's the big goal, is to get it going full time. And I think that answers the 15 questions. So there you go, Ann. Don't bug me. And that's about it. So, are you zooming in on me? Or what are you doing? Whoa! Okay, I think that's it. So we'll see you later, guys. Later.